Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, the Monday recap episode number 500 of Talkin' Baseball. How about that? Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy. Sitting next to me is Jake. We got Trevor Plouffe in California and producer BBD behind the dish. It was a weekend that was full of baseball. I'll be presenting the IL today. Jake will be presenting the
American League.
And Trevor leads us off with the National League. Exciting stuff abounds. Trev, cool look. Black hoodie and shades. Cool look.
Took the shades off. I need people to see my eyes for this episode. It's 500 for us. So let's give ourselves some snaps, I think. Excited to talk about ball. You guys know I love the Monday episodes. I bring the freaking energy on Monday. Although this weekend, big weekend for me on Friday, got a little too lit at the party, so I was recovering all weekend long. Got a bad tan at the beach yesterday. I was wearing a tank top, James, playing wiffle ball. Got the tank top tan lines. It's not a good look when you take your shirt off with the tank top tan lines.
You're fine. You had a farmer's tan your whole life.
I'm working through that right now. Now I'm just golden usually, but I'm going through some problems, obviously. A farmer's tan with the tank top tan lines, no bueno. But Jake, how you doing, man?
Trevor, James, BBD, everyone live in the chat, everyone listening, everyone in the world. Happy 500th episode. Huge. Trev.
Not everybody in the world. Not everybody in the world. There's people I don't want to say.
Oh, not the bad people. I don't consider them everybody, though.
He never has.
Trev, I got jazzed up and texted you when I saw that Papa Rosie made it out to your party. That got me all sorts of excited. Were you saying Dua Lipa was there or no?
She wasn't there. I'm sure she's regrets missing it because it was sick, but Papa Rose was there and he had a great time. I never seen that guy smile so much.
I loved his Insta story. You guys took a cool Trevor Plouffe crouching pic and Papa Rosie killed it with took me 3 days to get up from that pose. Jim,
I have a question. The female artist that you referenced earlier,
Dua Lipa.
What would you say if you just wanted to call her by just the first name?
Dua.
Okay, cool.
What were you thinking?
I had no idea. I didn't know if that was a one word name or
she's working that way. Like
there's two different names.
That'll be like a step in her career. At one point, she'll go to Dua, but right now, Dua Lipa flows.
Dua.
Yeah.
You could say Lipa or Dua, and people would know who you're talking about. So
if you said Dua, I don't think I'd know. Dua. That's a name?
And not when you say it like that, absolutely not, but you're all around it.
Well, someone has that accent and says it like that. Nikki Cass pronounces it like that.
Yeah.
Dua.
Right.
Play that Dua song.
Right.
I'm good. I'm excited. I'm excited to learn about the American League and the National League because I have the Interleague and the Yankees played an Interleague series. So, and I did watch some Mariners in Houston in my downtime because that was Interleague. So I'm cued in. It was actually not the Mariners of Houston. It was Marlins.
Marlins.
Corners.
How about the Marlins?
Why
don't you
just shut your butt? Well. That fucking AL guy.
Whole NL East is playing well.
Trev's got the NL. I have the IL, so shut up.
At 500, I just sent you the video Trevor sent me earlier.
I didn't send it to you. You sent that to me, and it's
let the record
provocative.
Show. Yeah,
I'll give you that word. It's provocative.
We'll get Jimmy's live reaction to it. He's putting it on his phone.
It's a girl dressed in saran wrap twisting down a pole.
Okay.
Oh, and now the gyrations have started.
Okay.
Yeah, Dua's known for her provocative dancing on stage, but it's tasteful.
I wasn't tasteful.
It wasn't that tasteful.
That was like, this is what I look like when I have sex. Now you've seen it. And this segment of the show obviously is brought to you by Roman.
Yes.
Trevor's hard right now.
Yep.
And that's because he doesn't need Roman yet.
Yeah.
But if you do, actually, hold up.
Hold up.
We're doing the swipes.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So if Dua Lipa,
The swipes do.
The swipes?
you might need them if you run into Dua.
Yeah. Pick one. Okay. I just read they have like the red writing all in red that says it's like the do not read.
Right.
And I just straight up
wanted to read
Ron
that.
Burgundy's. I still want to read it really bad.
Yeah.
Well, Trev, you know when you're wearing a great outfit, everything just looks right and your confidence is soaring. You can walk into a room knowing you're on your A game. Well, if you've been struggling with premature ejaculation, Roman can give you that same feeling in the bedroom. Look, we all know that change doesn't happen without action. So they got the Roman swipes now, Jake. I know that you go through boxers on your way home from the bar with a broad, and this is something you've been looking for. So you just numb your dick. Roman swipes clinically proven to help you last longer in bed. You have a question?
When guys are on the on-deck circle, what do a lot of them use?
Donuts.
They use a donut because
Yeah.
it's kind
Time
of
tar.
it's training their swing. You know, you're before you go to the plate, you swing with the heavy bat. So when you're at the plate, it feels light in your hands. That's kind of what the Roman swipes are doing. You know, when you get up to the dish, it's like you're swinging a lighter bat.
I think you're supposed to use it at the dish as well.
Oh,
Oh, I don't think you should do that. I wouldn't take them out during and just do it unless you really need it.
it's dark in there.
I think that's what they're made for.
Well, he's saying you could like turn around and
I think you say, excuse me,
right.
honey,
I'm getting ready in the bathroom.
I'm going to go numb my dick. Go to GetRoman.com/talkin today. If approved, you get $10 off your first order. That's GetRoman.com/talkin. Hey, we met with the Roman guys recently, and they said, I did a breakdown for the swipes, and they said that they were flying off the shelves. I was like, really?
A lot of Jake fans.
Where
out
are we
there.
at today? 500th episode is really going somewhere. I kind of like it.
We're good. Well, that was natural. Usually we were going to save the Roman
I'm
read, but we were
levitating.
talking about Dua. But
It's all stemmed from Jake. Yeah.
Jake,
Shocker.
Jake's the virus. All right, you're up. You're up, Trev. It's the National League.
Trev, let us know what happened in the National League.
4 minutes, 13 seconds on the clock. Speak up.
My people, we are starting in San Francisco where the Dodgers went into town, and guess what happened? What is you doing, baby? They get swept by the Giants. Let's go, San Francisco. 7-2 Giants, 3-2 Giants, 2-0 Giants. This one hurt for the Dodgers in a couple more ways. Also, Buehler exits the game. He's probably going to be out through August. Maybe we'll see him again in September. That one is tough. Game one, Junis, 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. He's been really good for them. Unfortunately for them, the Giants, Junis also comes out of the game early. Luxman at 3-2 Giants in the 5th. It was all San Francisco after that. Roberts had an intentional walk, backfire. Peterson did the whole damn thing. Giants win game 1, 7-2. Like I said, 3-2 Giants. They went with the opener bullpen day game 2, and they did the damn thing. Couple of bases loaded jams they got out of. That's Garcia and Doval doing that. And then in game 3, Rodon, 6 shutout innings, 8 Ks. He hit 100 miles an hour for the first time. Slater and Yaz went deep in the first inning. That was all we needed. We'll talk more about this series, but the Giants handled business. They sweep the Dodgers. Another sweep. We love sweeps. The Braves took on the Pirates in Atlanta, and of course they swept them because they're playing like ballers, and this one was a 4-game sweep. 3-1, 4-2, 10-4, 5-3, all Braves. Fried goes 6-inning pitch in game 1. He wasn't that sharp, but he escaped some jams, had a sketchy-ass pickoff move on Key Brian Hayes. It was a balk, no doubt about it. Duval kind of getting it going. He had the go-ahead RBI in the 2nd. Dansby and Darno added on. Dansby's nice plays in that one as well. Strider said, I'm your Huckleberry. He looks like Doc Holliday, that Doc Holliday MF. For 5 2/3 shutout innings, 8 Ks. Swanson had the go-ahead home run in the 3rd inning. Jansen gets back-to-back saves. They really do it. We'll talk way more about this series. Jansen had 3 saves in 4 games. You got to love that. Braves sweep. D-backs at Phillies. Phillies take 2 of 3. They finally lose a game under Topper, but they won the first 2, 7-5 and 4-0 before they got beat down 13-1 by the D-backs. Gibby goes 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. They got to Gallon, the Phillies did. Reese had a solar homer in the first, and he had an insurance solo shot in the 7th. And the Phillies scored 5 in the 2nd inning in that game. 1 Wheeler, game 2, 6 shutout innings. Bumgardner, 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run. There was a bad error there. This gets into 8-0 under Topper, 9-0 with a streak. And then they lose the last game 13-1. D-backs score in 6 of 9 innings. DBD, nice. Phillies take 2 of 3. Moving on, Brewers at Nationals. Nationals take 2 of 3. I guess this is the Brewers. What is you doing, baby? They got to step it up. 11-5 Nationals, 8-6 Nationals. And then the Brewers won the last game 4-1. Peterson, game 1, 2-run shot, and then a sac fly. He had 3 RBIs. Josh Bell had a 3-run homer, and Kybert had another solo shot, and that opened it up in the 6th for the Nats. Every starter had a hit for the Nats in game 1. Corbin, not so hot in game 2, but Lauer was worse. Soto, Cruz, Bell, back-to-back homers in the 5th, game 2. And then in game 3, it was all our guy Willie Adames, 3 RBIs with a 2-run homer. Hader had a save. Kutch had a homer. But the Nationals take 2 of 3 from the Brew Crew. Reds at Cardinals. Cardinals take 2 of 3. Good series for them. 2-0 Cardinals, 5-4 Cardinals, and it was 7-6 Reds in that last game. Our guy, Palante,
30 seconds left.
5 1/3 shutout innings. I praised him, and he gets the start. Goldie on base streak of 46 games, longest ever since Matt Holliday, 47 in 2015. Wainwright deals game 2. And then back and forth game for game 3, 4-4 in the 7th for TJ. Moore Jr. and Pham put the Reds ahead. They win the series. And the last series we'll talk about, Rockies at Padres, a 4-game series, and they split 9-0 Padres, 2-1 Padres, and 10 a walk-off with Machado scoring the game-winning run. And then Jake's Rock 6-2, 4-2 to get the splits. And that, my friends, is what happened in the National League.
Wow, 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 wow. Good job, Trev.
Standings?
The standings in the National League. You guys are going to really enjoy this. In the NL West, the Giants make up some ground with their sweep. They're 3.5 back the Dodgers, and the Padres are right on the Dodgers' arses, tied in the win column. Half game back. In the Central, the Cardinals are in first place. The Brewers lose the reign. A question was, do you think these teams will go pole to pole? I think that's the first team to fall out since I posed that question. Like, it feels like 6 weeks ago. So this is the first big change.
Brewers been bad.
First big change we had. The Cardinals are now in first place in the Central, and they're a half game up. The Mets lose ground in the East as the Braves are on a tear. The Braves are now 34-27. Mets are 40-22. They had a 6.5 game lead. It drops to 5.5. So,
Trevor, the story for me starts out east with those Atlanta Braves, winners of 11 straight. It wasn't a murderer's row of a schedule, and they still have a couple winning series coming up, I believe. But anytime you could go on a win streak like this, it's obviously massive. The Braves are full-blown back in my head. Dansby's putting together a nice season. They're getting some great pitching performances. I talked to Peter Moylan a little bit this morning on Wake and Jake, and he says they're getting it from every part of the team, the bullpen, the starting pitching, the hitting, the defense, and that's how you go on a winning streak of that nature.
Okay, I would have started reverse cron today, but you decided to go just right in the middle of
East
my
Coast
sheet here. Okay. Yeah, Braves did it. They had their rotation set up perfectly for a 4-game set against the Pirates. They went Fried, Strider, Morton, Wright. Strider, like I said, has anyone made the Doc Holliday reference?
No, I have it up on screen in the office, and that's where I wanted to start, Trev. Did you pull that out of your ass mid-burn? Is this something that's been talked about on the internet streets? This was this morning doing research, making sure I had everything right. I just saw Strider strike a dude out. I think he had 8 Ks, and he turned around, and in my head, I was like,
I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah, I mean, I have it up. They do look alike. It's a really good pull by you. I don't know if BBD you have the camera to show that if possible, but
it is. That's a good nickname to have. Great character in Tombstone, which is an excellent movie for the youngins that haven't seen that. Go ahead and check that out. Love that movie.
And I'm your Huckleberry is like one of the best movie quotes. So I was very happy with you.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, look, the Braves just came out and did the damn thing. I think Peter's right. They did get a lot of positive things out of a lot of different players in this series. You know, freed the line, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, looks really good, but he was in some jams. I wrote on there about the pickoff. I don't know if you guys saw that to keep Brian. It was a balk. How do you get away with that?
Pretty illegal.
And if you can get away with that, you should do it every time someone's on first base.
Call that the independent.
Yeah. Yeah, they just did it all. And you said Swanson's having a good year. He made some nice defensive plays as well. Acuna back out in right field made a nice play. He went down in the first inning of game 3. It was a 3-1 pitch from Zach Thompson, a 3-1 slider down and away, and just fucking pulled it to left center for a homer. And we always talk about like, hey, pitchers, if you say you made a good pitch and a guy hit it for a homer, it's not a good pitch. This one actually was a good pitch. Like Acuna, I don't know how he put his barrel on the ball, especially 3-1. But having him back is really big for them, especially being back in the outfield. Duvall is kind of getting it going. We talked a little bit earlier today at Baseball Day about like, are they going to make a move? If they do, what are they going to do? A lot of people have said outfield help. Michael Harris has been pretty good out there. You get Rosario coming back from eye surgery soon. So maybe they don't even explore that option. I'm sure they'll check in to see what's out there, but you could add a rotation piece as well, even though they have 4 like kind of starters that are doing well for them right now. Braves are kind of hot. Jansen, 3 saves in 4 nights. That's what you like.
The one thing I'm seeing here, and then we got to move on to another team, but the Braves and the Pirates, and I get it's the Pirates. What I'm seeing is they had 10
third place Pirates.
What's that?
Third place Pirates.
All right, I love it. Good. Go the Pirates. They have 10. The Braves had sent 10 different players to the plate in this series. All 10 recorded at least 1 hit. All 10 recorded at least 1 extra base hit. All 10 recorded an RBI. Oh, sorry, 9 out of 10 had an RBI, and all 10 had at least 1 run scored. So only 2 of them, Dansby and Michael Harris, come away with a slash line that looks, and Ronnie, good, but everyone seemingly contributed, so that's cool.
That is basically what happened. They get the sweep. I'm going to choose where we're going next. Jake,
okay.
Got to talk about the Doyers. Going up into San Francisco, taking 3 L's. Dave Roberts comes out, talks crap about the offense in the paper, saying guys need to have more team-oriented at-bats. But guess what? The Dodgers will be just fine. Even going through this, it was very, very good for the Giants to go ahead and get this, make up some ground. Last time they played the Dodgers was in LA, and they were kind of banged up, so they're getting more of their guys back. And this one was a little bit different of a game. A couple injuries. Longo had one the first game, but he ended up coming back on Sunday, so we kind of maybe avoided something there. But Junis, who's kind of stepped into the rotation, been pretty good. What does it say for him? Ooh, grade 2 hamstring. That's 4 weeks. That's a month at least, plus rehab starts. So that's tough for them. But Giants kind of just come out and did it. You know, they had some good pitching. Rodon's finding another gear, which is kind of scary. 100.2 was his fastest pitch. He's just kind of nasty. And the same with the Giants. They kind of got it from a bunch of different people as well. Tyro Estrada made some nice defensive plays too. That's your guy, Jake. I think he had a homer in this series as well.
Bullet Tyro.
Having himself a
even
nice
game
little
2,
year.
they went bullpen day, and just kind of like that day they had a couple guys get a massive jams. There's 2 back-to-back innings where the Dodgers got bases loaded. Garcia got a ground ball double play, so he only needed 7 pitches for 3 outs. That was nice. And then Doval escaped also a bases loaded jam.
Did Grove get in? I know they called up Michael Grove.
I don't have that on my notes.
All right. Because I saw him in spring training once, and it was like nasty stuff. Looks like he did, and he got lit up. Giants are bringing it up.
Tough. Giants, they get some good efforts out of their bullpen this series. I think looking back at last year's Giants team, I do think that was part of what made the team special. They were first in ERA last year out of the bullpen. Jake McGee struggled. He gets a save in the Sunday game. He struggled earlier on this year. But, yeah, Duvall, McGee, Tyler Rogers, Dominic Leone, my paisan, he's having a nice couple days out of their bullpen. So, if they can build off of that and get enough everywhere else, that's the Giants' formula. Good for them. I kind of called them out last episode because they slipped up against the Rockies at home, and then half jokingly, half not, at the end of the Giants talk, we said, hey, maybe they're just getting ready for the Dodgers. And they sweep them out of town. So Padres nipping at their heels now for the Dodgers, and some serious – I mean, Walker Buehler's been as consistent as a good starting pitcher can be, and now he's out of their rotation. So
hasn't been consistent this year.
Just more Gonsolin, baby.
Yeah, but you got, even with the Dodgers losing Buehler, it's insane the depth that they have. They still have Urias pitching to a 2.8, Tyler Anderson pitching to a 3.07. We know what Cattard is doing, 1.58. They got Kershaw back, 2.12. I mean, they're still loaded in the pitching department, but this is a team that 1,000% with this Buehler news is going to go out there and get somebody. And all those people that thought the Twins think they're going to go get Montas or Castillo, the Dodgers are going to go get one of these guys. They're going to get one of the marquee free agent pitchers just because they have the farm system to do it.
Probably trade Michael Grove.
I heard they already got Bum.
Bumgarner, huh?
They already have him.
Think he's a Dodgers guy?
Yeah, he seems like a Dodgers guy.
And they already know who they're going to flip him to for the last 2 years of his contract. So, look out.
Dodgers get swept. We did the Braves. Let's move on. Phillies.
2 out of 3 from Jake's D-backs. Most importantly, they win 9 in a row, and then Gibby pays the team to take a dive because he doesn't want to dress like Eno Saris.
Yeah, I think we should they should happen even though they only won 9 in a row.
Shouldn't have made it 10.
It was an error. They screwed themselves with an error.
Yeah. And Jakey's Snakes just went bullpen day on him. You don't know what to hit you. Nelson to Weaver to Smith. You're done.
Go check out what Joe Mantiply's doing in that pen, okay?
Yeah, and his numbers are like his other shit. His baseball savant's good, I think.
But this should be more about the Phillies, IMO.
Well, I mean, we didn't talk about Sean Poppin.
Oh, what's Poppin's time?
No, talk about the Phillies then.
Trev, your
Game
Phillies.
Game one, Reese had the homer in the first, and he had an insurance run in the 7th. They scored 5 in the second inning, and Marte had just tailor-made double play ball that he just zooed. A good note for the Diamondbacks, Varsho, your guy, Short King, had 3 RBIs in that game. Game 2, 2 hits. That was all that the Phillies really needed. It was a Stott 2-run homer, and then Castellanos had this like check swing double. I don't know if it was a double. It had 2 RBIs on it down the right field line. It was a bunt. It looked like a cricket swing a little bit, kind of. So that put on a 9-game win streak. And then, the Diamondbacks just took care of business in game 3 after there was like a Suarez comebacker, threw it to Rio Muto. He zooed it. Another run came around. The Phillies never recovered from that. So taking 2 out of 3, getting back in the race. This is what the Phillies needed. And I've been saying they have it in them all season long. It just, they didn't need a new manager apparently, because managers make all the difference. I always talk about how much of a difference managers make on this show.
Bryce Harper's numbers in this series are good, and his numbers on the season are nuts. He led the league in slugging and OPS last year, and he currently leads the league in slugging and OPS right now. 316 batting average, 371 on base. Is he playing the field yet?
Nope.
Is there any thought in Philly Nation, is that what it's called, in Philly world, to be like, hey, let's just, I guess they need defense so bad. Is there any thought to, hey, let's just, like, if this is what he's giving us?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Bryson Stott.
He said, Las Vegas is mine, Harper. It's mine, my city.
Trying to tell you guys, last 11, 333, 395, 1 dot, playing some shortstop and second base for the kid.
It's a good baseball name,
Yeah.
too. Bryson Stott.
Yeah.
I don't like Bryson, to be honest with you.
Stott's good.
It's kind of a sissy name,
Oh,
but Stott helps that out.
Stott helps that out. Stotts.
It's no offense to Bryson Stott.
Felt like a little
Probably
bit.
knows he's got a sissy name. I got a sissy
Whoa.
name. Trevor's not like some manly name.
Phillies back to 500. 30 and
They got
30.
over for one day, 30 and 30 right now. Go Phillies, go. Phillies Nation, right? Whatever that is. Phillies Universe, or is that Yankees Universe? Nationals take 2 of 3 from our brew crew, and our brew crew have been brutal.
Ooh.
That's what I was saying.
Trev.
Still on them, though.
In your
But they could
forgotten
not get
rotten brew crew hat, basically?
I'm in it. Yeah, Josh Bell just beat down the brew crew, basically. Said in game 1, him and Kybert had homers in the 6th to open it up. Then game 2, Soto and Cruz, along with Bell, back-to-back homers in the 5th. And that was interesting. Who was pitching? That was that Lauer? Yeah, it was Lauer. He went heater top of the zone to Soto, like 96, homer. Change at bottom of the zone to Cruz, homer. Then he tried the old slide ball, slurve ball to Bell. He hung it, homer. That can't feel good as a pitcher to throw 3 different pitches, all for home runs back to back. Our guy Urias, game 2, tried to make it a ball game. He had a 2-run shot, but the Nationals ended up closing it out. And then Brewers, they got what they needed. Adames, 3 RBIs. He had a 2-run home run. Kutch had a solo homer. Hader got the save. That's more like it for the Brew Crew.
They are
You can't be losing games like this.
They're in a full-blown funk, man. They're 2-8 in their last 10, and that's the NL Central talk. I know we're coastal elitists here. The Cardinals have caught the Brewers just by maintaining. The Cardinals have been 5-5 in their last 10, and they've gained 3 games on the Crew in that time because they're struggling. The whole NL Central in their last 10 is struggling, except the Cardinals at 5-5. Yeah, the Brewers, man, they, like Jimmy said, who's going to get caught? All these teams look really good. Mets look dominant. Brewers look dominant. Dodgers have been dominant. And now, Dodgers are a half game up. The Brew Crew got caught by the Birds. I'm excited for this NL Central, man. Well, two teams.
I've been promised an offensive move. So far. The promise has not been fulfilled. And boy, they need it.
Is Bronny coming back? Just tell us right now. 3,
Braun
2,
skipped my birthday,
1.
and I'm pissed at him. He's in Aspen right now.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
He was leaving in the next morning following my birthday, and he said he didn't want to be too tired for his flight to Aspen.
You were so tired you forgot to suntan properly.
I was banged up the next day. Anyways, moving on. Rockies at Padres. They split a series. They had one of those silly scheduled doubleheaders on Saturday. Of course, they split that. First game, 9-0 Padres. Just all Padres. 7 of the 9 Padres starters had RBIs. 8 of 9 had hits. Hosmer, what's he doing, baby? You didn't join in on the fun at all. And that's a tough one for hitters. You want to be happy for your team, but you're also sitting there twiddling your thumbs, being like, man, I didn't contribute whatsoever. He's fine. He's got a lot of money and a baby on the way, so he doesn't care. Game 2, Grisham had the solo shot. Then Brendan Rodgers, I have in parentheses hot. He tied the game in 6 with a double to right center field. Chrismat, we like that dude.
It's your guy.
He's got kind of a look going for him there. He gets a big double play in the 7th. And then extra innings, Colorado goes strikeout, ground out, pop up, and then Machado scores the winning run on a throwing error by catcher Elias Diaz.
If you're my Padres, you would have loved to get one of the last 2 games in this series because you'd be on top of the NL West right now. You're right with the doubleheader. I think you shrug a little bit, but Brendan Rodgers, hot. He's gone full beard, right?
It's more like a manly, like rugged, like he looks like he should be in Colorado.
I agree with that. I agree. He's like following the Blackman look and all that, you know?
Is it a mullet?
Who knows?
It could be. Game 4, which was kind of cool. Rockies hold off. Kim, our guy, gets a homer rob. That would have tied the game. Jonathan Daza takes one back, but then Hosmer ends up tying it on a sac fly in the 7th, and then McMahon go ahead 2-run double in the 8th, and Bard gets the save. So that's a nice win for the Rockies there.
Our guy, Bard.
Bard's a nice guy. He likes you guys.
Yeah.
Love
Well, he likes
Bard.
Jimmy. I don't know if he likes Jake.
He likes Jake. He might like
What are
you
talking
too.
about?
Padres, though, looking good. They get the split. Are they going to add? What are they going to add? I'm so curious. Who's going to make the first move? We need a move, my people.
That's what I've been saying. There needs to be a June trade already. It doesn't need to be a big thing. It won't be a big thing. But just give me something.
Did we talk about Reds-Cardinals yet, or is that the last one we need to talk about?
It's the last one we need to talk about. I mean, my dude Ashcraft, they're winning games he doesn't even pitch well in. That's how good he is.
He's so dang good. Cardinals win the first 2 games. I mentioned Goldie's on base streak. Did that end? Because in my notes, I have it at 46, and I think it might have ended.
I do not know.
I'll get on that.
Someone, yeah, we got a producer for that. Palante, he ends up going to the rotation after I praised him a little bit. And Jake gave the every single team has a reliever that's lights out that you don't know his name. He was the guy for the Cardinals. Now they put him in the rotation. And that was kind of a fun game. I have that in my notes for Padres, or excuse me, for Cardinals fans. You go Palante to Cabrera to Gallegos, then Helsley. Look at that dude's numbers.
I don't want to.
It's filthy. Wainwright does his damn thing again in game 2. Edman with the walk-off 2-run homer, 2-1 slider down and in. Our guy Tyler O'Neill in that game, he had a sac fly, then a 2-run double, but he gets picked off trying to steal third, and it was the spaghetti move. You can't get picked off on it. Nobody gets picked off on that. Didn't matter because Edman saved him with the walk-off 2-run homer. And then, yeah, the Reds, Ashcraft pitches, they get the win. What happened in that game? This is back and forth all game before the 7th. 4-4 in the 7th. TJ, Amor Jr. and Fan, they put the Reds ahead. Juan Yepes, young guy. A lot of St. Louis Cardinals, young guys stepping up. He gets the game within 1 in the 9th. And then Alexis Diaz, he gets Pujols swinging, nasty swing to end the game. And then in our notes also, Flaherty will make his 3rd rehab start on Wednesday. They should have him back. And that rotation all of a sudden is looking fortified.
It's a good word.
Yes.
Good stuff.
That's basically it, guys.
Alexis Diaz, closing games for the Reds. He's Edwin Diaz's brother. 2 closers.
Diaz, nice little series too.
Closing brothers.
Rogers.
What about Brendan Rodgers?
Are the Rogers closing brothers as well?
I don't think.
At times, have they been?
Like at times.
At times.
At times.
I want to ask, we're
Twins.
going to move on, but Brandon Murphy in the chat said Palante only started because they're missing starters. I read differently. Cardinals fans, please let me know what's going on there. Is he going to be in the rotation, a la like a Hicks type of guy, or was that just a spot start? Because he went 4 and something innings, didn't he?
We trust our Cardinals information from Katie Wu.
5 1/3 shutout innings. That's a start. That's not a bullpen day. So
Well, it could have been spot start.
if you have a guy go 5 1/3, then that means he's going to be in the rotation. A spot start, like a bullpen day, you might go 2 innings, 50 pitches, maybe. Sound off in the chat.
All right, anyway, that brings us up to the 25-minute mark, which means we got to pivot to the American League, where Jake's going to tell us everything that happened. You ready?
Been ready. Holy smokes. We are starting out in Trevor's Chi-Town Fire, Tony. The White Sox. We're going to open up with a pair of openers. That's how both teams started this series. White Sox win 8-3. Are the White Sox, are they making the turn? They start out the next game. They go up 5-0. These White Sox. Oh, no. They end up blowing it. The Rangers score 4 in the 10th. Buenos Cantos. And the holy smokes, we're chanting fire. Tony. How about it? The Rangers, they win the next game 2 in extra innings, 8-6. The final play of the game, Louis Robert overslides third and gets tagged. You hate to see that. Kopech, he exits with injury as Lance Lynn is making his season debut tonight, Jimbo. Fire it up for Daddy. Rangers take 2 out of 3, and they are second place in the AL West. Hearn Hunch.
Jesus Christ.
Trevor Plouffe's Minnesota Twins. They hosted BBD's Tampa Bay Rays, and the Twins win 2 out of 3 versus the Rays. How about it? Game 1, whoever smelts it, delts it. Smeltzer with 6 innings, 3 earned run. Byron Buxton, he's packed. 2 homers, including the go-ahead one. Some sloppy Rays defense, some unearned runs in that first game. The second game, Shane Baz, he gets hits around. His dad is jacked. Everyone kept tagging me in the post with his dad because his dad's so jacked. Wish I was lying about any part of that. Can we talk about Luis Ariz a little more, Trev? Now that he's hitting ding-dongs. Holy smoke. Go-ahead grand slam for him. Rays salvage the last day. Springs with 5 shutty innings. Royce Lewis, man, top prospect. He's undergoing season-ending surgery. Second ACL tear for the athletic kid. That sucks butts. Zunino to the IL for the Rays. The Blue Jays, they take 2 out of 3 from the Tigers, and that's obvious. They take game 1, Berrios. 8 innings, 1 earned run. The Jays went up early with a bunch of ding-dongs, including a Springer dinger. Vladito, he's starting to get it going. He had a tough May, people, but now he's bouncing back, including the go-ahead homer in the final game as chicken strips. Ross Stripling goes 6 shut piece. Also, Gabriel Moreno. Some people are calling him the Talkin Jake of the Talkin Baseball crew after that picture he took with Miguel Cabrera, a.k.a. Trev. He gets his first base hit, maybe the first of many for him, but if Frisky got his first Major League win as the Tigers take the meat game of the Bread Series. Red Sox-Mariners out on the left coast. Jim said he watched some of this. You might see some of it in the Weekly Dumb. Little teaser.
No, I didn't watch this.
Little teaser. Well, Weekly Dumb, we watched some of that this morning, Jim. Red Sox take game 1, 4-3. Dick Mountain. No starter goes into the 5th inning, or past the 5th, excuse me. Bobby Dahlbeck hits a go-ahead home run. Get familiar with that phrase, because the next night, Bobby Dahlbeck hits a go-ahead home run in the 9th. Oh, these Red Sox have left the station. Not so fast, my friend. Toro ties it up with an RBI, and the Mariners get a 7-6 victory. But then on Sunday, Crawford versus Ray. Robbie Ray goes 7 shutout. How about it, Mariners? But he comes out in Rafael Devers with the 2-run homer to essentially win the game. Rob Refsnyder with a great catch in this game. How about it? Guardians take 3 out of 4. They are over 500. They take 3 out of 4 against the Athletics at home, which you're supposed to do that. Big starts out of Quantrill. Laureano screams at everyone. That was fun, and that gets the Athletics their only win. Orioles and Royals split for a guy named Heasley had 7 shutout innings. He's new to my book, Oklahoma State, Go Pokes.
Good job.
Mid.
Decent job.
For me, it's mid.
For Monday,
for Trevor, like
for
10
Monday,
out of 10. For me,
Monday episodes.
You didn't even do
you
it right.
guys
didn't even do it right.
didn't even do it.
Where
right.
should we start, James? Because we can't let Jacob. You do the standings first. I'll decide where we start.
Okay, that seems fair.
Fair.
Seems fair. And the standings are as such. In the American League West, as Jake said, the Rangers are now in second place, 8.5 games back behind the Houston Astros, who had a 9-game lead. Now it's 8.5. Whoop-de-doo. In the Central, the Twins stay 3 games ahead of the Guardians. Nothing, no movement. And in the East, we haven't talked about the Yankees yet, but everyone else, Lost ground to the Yankees. Wow. The Rays went from 7 games back to 9 games back. And Toronto went from 7.5 games back to 8.5 games back. But Toronto jumped the Rays and are now in second place. Yeah. I tell you what, we got some division leaders in the league right now.
Okay.
I moved 8.5 game lead. 8.5 game lead. That's it. That's the two of them. That's just two of them. It's the Astros and the Yankees. Big leads.
Oh boy.
Where do you want to start, Trev?
I was gonna start with the bottom series since we didn't talk about that at all, but I actually want to
Jake
give a
didn't
what
get
is
to
you
it.
doing,
I
baby,
got to it.
To
It's the Orioles and the Royals.
White Sox.
Yeah, it seems like that's where you got to start.
Permission to
Congrats
start there,
to
then?
the Rangers. Congrats to the Rangers.
Oh,
You
now
said they're
you're
in
talking
second
Rangers.
place in the AL West now. Nobody saw that coming. So, hey, you kind of got to give him a little bit of props to our guy, Jonah Heim, who's just a beast of a man.
So where are you starting?
So where are we starting?
Rangers, White Sox.
All right, Jake, what happened? Jake, what do you got to tell us about this?
So this made some national baseball news with the fire Tony funny business, especially doesn't help when the Phillies fire their manager and they reel off 9 straight wins. Man, this White Sox season has just felt so droll. There's never been momentum. Thank you, Trevor. That was a good word. And now, I mean, Lance Lynn comes back, which, hey, A, that's a stud starting pitcher. B, maybe it's some of the chutzpah they're looking for. But at the same time, you know, Kopech leaves game 3 with some knee stuff. It doesn't look like there's structural damage, but it just seems like the injury train has always been cycling, and they can't win enough series to get it going. I mean, the Braves, it was exciting that they got it going. It was about damn time. The White Sox, it just seems like they've constantly been a couple games under 500. If I had to place a bet, do I think at some point this team is talented enough to get their 8, 9, 10-game win streak to be a part of this season? Yes, but they just haven't been up until this point. And the defense has been bad at times. The Louis Robber play to end the game as he slides off the bag. That's brutal. I don't know, man. I like energy's a real thing, and the White Sox haven't had the good juju all year.
The pitching situation is pretty brutal here. They win the first game on it was an opener day, but a bulk day. Davis Martin gets a lot of it. They blow the save and then make up for that. But then Giolito gives them 5 innings pitched. It goes 10 innings. So you use a bunch of relievers. And then in game 3, Kopech gets hurt. Doesn't even finish the first inning. You already got a pretty beat up pen. And now you have to go, that game, what 12 innings? Now you have to go 11 plus with your bullpen. So, and they almost hung in there to, battling. So in a way, I don't know. The bullpen wise and the pitching wise, that's a tough task to win a series when that's the situation. The injury and the extra innings and a opener, starting opener, then going extra innings, then going injury extra innings. That sucks.
The fire Tony chance, I'm okay with them. I never liked the hire to begin with, but I'm not going to put this all on Tony La Russa. He's made some questionable decisions, no doubt. We talked about that a bunch last week. But the injury bug is crazy. And actually for both these teams, the series, we're happy to get Lynn back. Kopech, I think they said escaped. It's not like a big deal. He might even make his next start. So that'd be huge for them. Tim Anderson's starting his rehab assignment, so he should be back soon. Grandal on his hammy exits. It's dude, it's kind of never ending for Chicago. But they got to figure it out. There's still 100 games left. Someone in the chat asked me, what's the level of confidence I have in the White Sox turning around? I don't really know. I've been confident all year, but I came to the realization today on Baseball Today that last year, Minnesota was supposed to run away with the division, and they stunk. And the White Sox went and ran away with the division. This year, White Sox were supposed to run away with the division. They've stunk, and the Twins are kind of running away with the division a little bit. So we will see. I still believe overall the roster is there. They've been making some bonehead plays. That Luis Robert play, not good. Doesn't matter if he slid off the bag, but his run didn't mean anything. They were down 2 runs. So to go and try to take third base right in front of that sexy man, Charlie Culberson, he's going to throw you out every time.
Every time.
Just looked at him and threw him out, basically. But the Rangers also had some injuries themselves. Eli White, he's been really good for them. He had to exit game 3, and then a bunch of COVID dudes. I'm interested in the Rangers. Are you guys interested in them at all?
Aspects.
Them?
Yeah, aspects. I'm interested. I feel I'm upset that Martin Perez got for 12 hits, 6 earned runs. He was having a just awesome season. He still is. I think he's going to get traded, but I don't know.
We said 500 would be great for them. They're 3 games under 500.
I should take that back. I don't know his contract. If he's got multiple years, then probably not, but they can vet something for him. He's having an amazing year.
They've got Texas has Houston coming up, so that will be interesting, as it always is. Texas still isn't blowing people away in any aspect. Pitching, starting pitching, their bullpens actually.
It's Martin Perez's walk year. They should definitely trade him if he's got value.
It just depends the Rangers' actual goals for this season. They started calling up some young guys. Zeke Duran, he was a part of the Joey Gallo trade. He had a big homer in this series. One of the big questions is going to be Jack Leiter. The top draft pick. Will he get a call at some point this year? If you hang around 500 with these new expanded playoffs, does that make you think you're involved in the final 2 months of a chase? And then that ties into a Martin Perez situation when we get towards the deadline. But no, Martin Perez, John Gray, and Dane Dunning, who knows what Army's throwing with, but those guys are giving them some pretty good starting pitching performances this year.
Right now, they're three games out of the second wild card, the Rangers. So maybe.
And they had a pretty bad first month, if I remember. I think they're playing a better brand of baseball. Simeon's starting to go, which it was about time.
500 ball for the Rangers this year, yes or no?
Just under.
Green.
That's a yes? Or is that
it's
green,
yes.
00?
Double zero, exact. Exacto ball.
81 and 81, okay. Rays Twins.
Yeah, let's go to the Twins. I want to talk about Luis Ariz. Like Jake said, he deserves a lot more mentions. He is leading the league in batting average right now and on base percentage. And they're having fun flipping him. Like I said last episode, they're flipping him to the leadoff against righties. And now he's hitting home runs in that position. And he's got 2 leadoff home runs now. So, just know about him, I guess. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, I hope he makes his way to the All-Star game this year. He's been just absolutely on fire. They've talked about him for a long time, about his bat-to-ball skills. It's on display all the time. Fun. I don't want to call him an old-school hitter. He's just a hitter, dude. He can hit bombs. He just did. Grand slam. Way to go.
Buxton hits 2 more, right? So he's got 4 in the last 2 series, so he's going off.
He was slumping too, so it's nice to see him getting him back.
And Correa has a really good series as well.
Ariz, I was a year early on him. I had him in some of my hot takes going into last year. I thought he could be a batting title guy. He's just got a special bat-to-ball skill that only a few players in Major League Baseball do. And it's not necessarily a homer swing. He'll run into a couple, as he has the last couple series. But he does have a double swing, which I think that is very important if you're one of those contact-only guys. He doesn't have a ton on the year, but when you're hitting 359, it doesn't really matter. 25 walks, 18 strikeouts for Ariz. That dude is a problem. And yeah, when Buck Daddy starts going like this, I love me some Twins, baby. They're going to be in it the whole way, Trev.
Luis Ariz playing first base is really just funny to me. What is he listed at? Hold on, let's get this.
Listed 5'10", 175.
Okay. He's 5'9".
Yeah, 5'8 3/4.
5'8 3/4. That's tough, man, for an infielder to be looking over there at that.
Yeah.
And I tell people this all the time. It's not an easy position to play. You think you could just throw anybody over there, but
just keep it low.
Playing first.
Keep it
and
low.
Now, talking about Twins, great job. They're doing the damn thing. They've also dealt with a ton of injuries this year. So if you mention the White Sox injuries, you have to mention the Twins pitching injuries they've gone through, and they're still doing it. So you have to mention that. But now this whole Carlos Correa situation gets way more interesting with the Royce Lewis news. Because Royce Lewis is the heir apparent there. And if Carlos comes for 1 year, yeah, okay, we wish you'd stay for longer, Carlos, but fine, we got a guy to come do it. They got to figure out a way now, right? You got to figure out a way to keep Carlos.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys not follow along with what's going on here? I don't understand. You guys are looking at me like I'm an idiot.
They can't do anything but hope he opts in. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Try to offer him more at the back end? I don't know.
It's either Correa gets hurt, has a bad year, and he goes back to the Twins on that contract, or he has a good year and he's going back to free agency. Like, that's the book's already kind of
well, I know, but he has said he likes playing in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Whether that's he doesn't have to say that at all this year.
He has to say that at all.
Why?
What's he going to say? I hate it here. This place is miserable. Can't wait to get out.
You just don't have to say anything. Okay, if you're 100% planning on leaving, you don't have to say anything. But if you're in the middle of that contract where you control everything, you don't have to say, I love playing here. I like to be here long term.
But why would you put yourself in the situation? Why would he say, like, yeah, if the Twins
came and gave him money, they extended the contract, and then you can guarantee the first, maybe they say, we'll extend you and we'll just guarantee the first 2 years for our sake, the next 2 years for our sake. Then we'll put in some more opt-outs for you, whatever it is. They could do that.
Same guy that hired Boris in the middle of his free agency.
I'm saying the Twins, it is a big time. They got to figure something out there.
Boris doesn't get paid on that. He wants to get paid on his own.
Why wouldn't he get paid on that?
Because the other agency splits it with Boris. If he opts out and gets a new contract, Boris gets all of his percentage.
Even an extension, I don't know. Not really sure.
Well, extension maybe, but if he opts in,
that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping I don't know what the Twins can do. I have no idea what they can do except extend him. Try to convince him to stay because, like I said, that's your guy. Royce Lewis is your guy. He came up and filled in really nice for him while Carlos Correa was out. And now, back-to-back ACLs. I'd like to talk to that surgeon.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. That's not his fault, or maybe it is. I don't know.
Whoa.
On the Rays side of things, they're starting pitching Shane Baz and Rasmussen both got a little, Jake?
Yeah, the Rays are going to raise sometimes. Baz, big-time prospect, and he's had some good. I don't know what to do with this one. I'd ask Rays fans to sound off in the comments. Springs has a good start. Rasmussen, he's been having a good year. And, hey, maybe we deserve to give these Twins some credit. They just got to the Yankees starting pitching who hadn't been gotten to all year. Like, these Twins are...
second best offense in the AL.
Their hitting is very real. So... and apparently, especially off starting pitching. So, at this point, it's kind of kudos to the Twins. They've been running the AL Central since second week of this season. They clipped up the Yankees starting pitching that was literally untouchable, and they get to 2 of the 3 Rays starters.
And the Rays hitting has been good. I feel like I see in Randy highlights every single day.
Electric, that's why.
And it looks like Manny Margot had a good series, and Vidal Buffon.
How'd you say that?
I hate to see Taylor Walsh struggle because I have decided I want to root against him.
Right.
But that's only fun if he's good.
But I think he's like Kiermaier style. Like, I don't think his hitting stats are going to be good, but when he does, you're going to know about it.
Okay.
Like the walk-off home run off the foul pole.
Yeah.
The Yanks.
Okay. He's a moments guy.
Yes.
Damn.
They already have a moments guy there. That's Margot.
Well, he's nonstop.
Yeah.
He's nonstop moments.
Twins raise the Rays.
Ooh.
Gotta love that.
Oh, hey.
Blue Jays took 2 out of 3 from the Tigers. How'd the Tigers win the game? Bo
Brisky.
So we had Bo versus Bo in that game? Who outbowed?
The Bo battle? That's some Jimmy lytics in that one. If you're the Jays, you're kicking yourself a little bit because the game they lost in this series was Gossman Day. And there was one unearned run there. Shout out to our Tigers bullpen, which has been good all year. Blue Jays, though, they're starting to get back to Blue Jays baseball. They're going to mash. They were up 6-0 in the first game, and then Vladdy's starting to go again this month. He hits a homer. He had a really bad May. I was surprised.
The shed outbowed him. 2 for 3 with 2 singles. So this is gentle.
Well, Bo got his first major league win. So which Bo won?
Well, Bo won the game, but Bo won the battle. But slightly, he was delicate with it. Just 2 singles. So
How do they spell Bo?
they spell it different
One's
ways.
B.O.
Different.
Yeah,
The other one's
Bichette is B-O, and the
B-E-A-U-X?
other one is B-E-A-U. Yeah.
Is there an X in that one, though?
No X.
Kind of like the X.
Well, his last
That's a
name's
lot.
Brisky, so it's a cool name.
Speaking of a cool name, Jose Berrios. Back-to-back good starts. I know what you guys are going to say. It was against the AL Central, though.
Oh.
He goes
No, I wouldn't
7
say
innings
that.
pitched, 2 earned runs against the Twins, who just, decimated the Yankees starting pitching, then the bullpen, whatever. And then against Detroit, 8 innings pitched, 1 earned run, only 5 hits. So that's good. That's nice to see if you're a Blue Jays fan. You loved seeing Berrios kind of get back on it. Berrios. I can roll my R's. Don't worry about that.
Have the Tigers gotten to a starting pitcher?
Hmm.
Serious question.
Not really, man.
Have they gotten to a starting
Garrett
pitcher?
Cole.
What I'd assume they have at some point.
I mean, like of late, because I think I think everyone's like 6 innings pitch, 1 earned run. Like, okay, this series there was all that way. I'm gonna check last series because I think that if you want a good start, like you're begging the Tigers to come to town. I think if they get any runs, it's off relief pitchers.
They got Bailey Ober, 6 innings, 5 earned.
Damn.
They say Tigers got to Cole. That's what Gavin Grossman, that must be Robbie's brother, saying.
But that was like a month ago. I'm talking of recent. Mitch Keller, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run versus the Tigers.
Someone said in the chat that Berrios got the home run jacket. That's nice.
I don't know about that.
They got
Never
Quintana.
never let a pitcher touch the home run jacket.
Yeah.
Ever.
Okay. All right. Good job by the Blue Jays. Red Sox take 2 out of 3 for the Mariners. How about that?
Yes.
Mariners are winning series. Red Sox are winning series. Red Sox are in the wild card race right now. They have it.
Yeah, the Red Sox, they add another little notch to their belt as they sneak away from that 500 line. And they didn't really hit this series, which I've been asking them to do and make their team identity, but this Sunday game, I mean, your zero's on the board until Devas hits the 2-run homer to win the game and win the series, which is pretty badass. Good fight by the Mariners down to their last strike in that second game. But yeah, I mean, 2 teams that you have circled as like need to keep winning series. And the Red Sox, hey, 32-29 from where they were. I think they're 9-2 this month. Like have yourself a June, Red Sox, and you're gonna make the dance.
They relied on their bullpen a lot. Looks like Hill and Waka didn't get out of the 5th, and Cutter Crawford didn't start the 6th, even though he had only given up 1 hit, 4 walks.
We don't
See-
talk about Cutter Crawford here.
So you got they used a lot of bullpen for 1+.
Evalde
And they
and
did well.
Whitlock both on the 15-day IL. That's tough for the Red Sox. You know who else? Tough series for Bobby Dahlbeck. You want to know why?
Why?
Yeah, he hits the 2 homers, but you on the road, you hit the go-ahead home run in the 9th, and you're like, I'm going to feel myself all night. I'm going to go to dinner maybe in Seattle, go to a nice sushi spot. And Toro ties it, and they walk it off. And all of a sudden, you just hit a homer in the game. This doesn't matter what you did. Like, you're
Yeah.
not the hero.
0. Hero to 0.
It's tough.
Jake Storielli story.
You're so mad at the bullpen. You're so mad at the bullpen when that happens.
Shit. You remember a pitcher that did that to you?
Name a pitcher on the 2015-16 Twins.
Oh, come on,
Okay.
Trev.
Trevor Plouffe,
Probably
good teammate.
Probably Tyler Duffy. My friend.
Okay.
Guardians take 3 out of 4 from the A's. I will say my interest in these two teams is waning, especially the A's. The Guardians, that's actually a lie. I want to keep up with the Guardians and their pitching staff. The A's, I know they have new names. I asked about a guy today before the show, and you guys said that's an A's pitcher, and I didn't have the heart to look it up. And I look up almost everything.
You like his picture.
I just don't.
Blackburn he's been an A's pitcher for a while now.
Look at his picture. Yeah, but A's every year have a guy who like fully breaks out and has an ERA in the 2s, and you're just like, how did this happen? And Blackburn's their guy. And Jimmy, look at his picture on Baseball Reference.
Well, I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Just kind of, it looks just like an A.
What? So did you know, did we get any lip reading on Laureano? He was just saying like, wake the fuck up or something like that in the dugout. What was going on there?
Oh, I didn't see that.
I think there was some MFs in there. Yeah, I don't think you need the full John Boy skill set. But yeah, pretty badass that he does it and they come back that inning.
And then he hits a homer the next day, like a leadoff homer the next day.
I love Laureano.
Just relax a little bit, Ramon. I don't know. You're on the A's. I'm sorry.
I'm mentally so excited for him to get traded to a contender. I need it to happen. And then the Guardians, Jim, no one's been tougher on them than me, and it's been a weird mixed pot of emotions because I love me some young ball players, but I hate their front office a little bit. And they are above 500. They're 3 games back of the Twins.
Dude.
Like, the Guardians are going to be in this dance the whole season.
I love that. And I like that Sticks had another good start. What's his 3.09 ERA? Let's fucking go, Tristan.
Yes. Did you guys see Plezak's play, too, that he made?
Yeah.
I don't give pitchers credit very often.
Yeah.
That was a nice play.
That's what gets it, that play, that caliber.
And he seems spacey, when you hear Plesac talk, he seems a little spacey out there. I've seen him kind of all over the place lately. He was on Intentional Talk, I saw, kind of out there. But that play, kind of nonchalant about it too. Just made it, ran back in the dugout, then kind of felt himself. But he's 2
outs, first and third. It was nice. He's like frowning as he's coming back in the dugout. Little fizz face. Dude, the fact that he lands it and just does the no look is pretty badass. Good play.
Are the Guardians the new A's where like you don't expect them to do a lot, but then they kind of show up?
No, I think in our PPP on them, I was saying like I think they could still be good.
Well, we knew the pitching is good.
Yeah.
And they came out like gangbusters offensively at the beginning of the season. That cooled a little bit, but maybe they're getting it going again. I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched a ton of Guardians baseball. When I have to research, I research.
What did you watch? Kramer versus Keller, Orioles,
Yep.
Royals.
Yes.
Last game.
I did. I did. No, I didn't.
A liar.
I lied about it. My guy Heasley deserves a shout out. OK State. He's actually a young guy who's had a couple good outings in his career. Bobby Witt Jr.'s been good for the last month and a half now. If you butter knife his stats in that time period, he's got an OPS in the mid 8s. But yeah, man, I don't have the heart for this. 4-game split between these two right now. Sorry.
We got some guys. So the Orioles they can be fun. Like, is Mullins, are they going to trade him? What are they going to do with him? Mancini's on the block, I've been hearing. And on the other side, Benintendi. I think there are going to be some players exiting these teams. And I don't know. They got sometimes they're fun to watch. I love Bobby Witt Jr., man.
Like him.
Give that guy give him a year and a half from now. Like the rest of this year, the rest of next year, what's that going to put us at? 2024? My goodness, where's the time gone? He's going to be a bona fide star. Like, watch the guy's actions and like everything that he does on the field. It is going to work. He is going to be a guy. There's just no doubt about it. You can't look at a guy and tell me he can't be it.
Adley Rutschman had his first 3-hit game, so his numbers look good there. 2 doubles. I will say this about the Orioles. I'm excited to play that when the Yankees play them, not because I think they're easy wins, because I think the Orioles are pesky, but their offense is a fun brand of baseball, in my opinion. But I don't choose them as a game to watch when I'm looking for non-Yankees games.
Trev, your guy in every bullpen that you don't know. Orioles, Cionel Perez, 19.1 innings, a 0.93 ERA this year. And boy, does he have a look to him. My guy.
My guy. All right, we got to go to the IL. Time's up. 25 minutes have struck. I'll do it. I'll do the IL. It's brought to you by DraftKings because there's some teams in the IL that if you want to bet on them, bet on them. They do a lot of winning in this IL recap. There's a couple of them that are first place and winners. So you can go to download. You can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOHNBOY. Bet just $5 and get $150 in free bets no matter what happens on the field. That's promo code JOHNBOY at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. MLB trademarks used with permission. Here we go. We had 3 series in the IL, and they go like this. The Cubs came to New York City and got swept. Game 1 went extras. It went 13 innings. They set the record, Trev, for most runners stranded, for worst production with runners on base in the history of baseball. It was like 0 for 33 until Jose Trevino steps to the plate and gets the walk-off hit on his son's birthday. Cubbies use Miley, he gets hurt, and then they use like all their relievers that are good, and they pitch well, which leaves them with Swarmer in Game 2, a rookie making his second ever start, and they need all the bullets they can get. And it's sad because he gets stuck out there. He's just giving up homer after homer after homer, 6 solo shots. Yankees win 8-0, and then they go to Keegan Thompson in Game 3, and the Yankees destroy him as well. They win Game 3, 18-4. Our dude Happer had a homer, had a triple, had himself a little series. Carpenter's a fun story from the Yanks. Montgomery goes 7 shutout. They just hit a lot of home runs. The Mets and the Angels played 3 games. The Mets took the bread games. McGill pitched in Game 1. I didn't fully realize his name isn't Tyler, but Tylor, and I'm out on the big drip. That's bullshit, and your parents are rude. He pitched decent. The Mets win. It's like a back-and-forth game for a little bit, and then they got it going. Angels win Game 2 with Lorenzen and Carrasco. That's a high-scoring affair, 11-6. Shohei Ohtani. He hits. And then the Mets win Game 3. It was Sunday Night Baseball. 4-1 with Taijuan Walker pitching, and they needed him to have a good start. And he did. Struck out 10. How about that? The Marlins and the Astros played 3 games. Marlins Game 1, and Game 2. So the Astros have had a bad homestand. They just lost to the Mariners, and then they lost to the Marlins at home, a team who's usually very good at home. Verlander saves the sweep. He pitches pretty well. Actually, he pitched well for 6 innings and then got for 4 runs in the 7th inning, making a 1-run game. But Altuve hits a 3-run homer in the 8th to win it for the Astros. Framber caught a comebacker. With his small glove, and that was fun. Jazz and Jesus hit 2 home runs each in Game 1 as the Marlins win. Oh, and fucking Astudillo at playing second base is awesome. It is a good time. And that's what happened in interleague play. You had 3 first-place teams here, guys. You had the Yankees, you had the Mets, and you had the Astros. Astros the only team to not win the series. Yep. The Angels, if you want to start there, I guess. The Angels got they got Rendon back. Trout's back in hitting. Shohei hit some home runs. Nevin's the manager. They won a game. It's Tylor.
That gets you.
I'm in on Tylor. It's better than Tyler and Trevor are kind of sissy names. Tylor, you could either be like, it's a lore, like a story-ish type thing, or Lord.
I'm out on it.
Like a Lord.
Not into it.
My Halos, to get out of this skid, you got to win a series. They had a chance. Sunday Night Baseball, it didn't happen. Man, they're going on off day. Need that. And then they're playing 2 against the Dodgers, who they just got swept, and they're feeling angsty. And then they're playing 5 up at Seattle. So the Mariners, or Halos, really needs to win that 5-gamer. And the other team is going to be sitting there at the end of June like, we're a bunch of games under 500. What is we doing, baby? So
I think the Angels will be better as they get more whole. Shohei and Trout played 2 games in this series. Walsh and Marsh got it going. They both played all 3 and had a good series. So, I mean, their lineup's been pretty weird. I know they were bad before the lineup, and they've lost games many different ways. But I think, these last 2 games, they had Marsh, Trout, Rendon, Ohtani. They got Walsh going again. So it's starting to look back to, right? They had a couple games there. Lagares leading off. Duffy leading off. It was weird. So hopefully Trout, Shohei, Walsh, Marsh. You get Ward back. Is he ever coming back? I don't know what's going on with Ward, but get him back too.
Trout
Need
2.0.
Yeah. For the Mets, they keep winning, man. They are, they're getting big hits, clutch hits, fun hits. They're kind of fun to watch.
They don't go away. The Mets are doing the damn thing, even in the face of, a resurgent Braves, a resurgent Phillies.
I am worried about the Braves, but the Mets are good.
Mets are good. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like, they have established enough of a lead to probably hold everybody off. The one team that could give them a run is the Braves. Maybe that's a little bit of recency bias because they looked really good this weekend. But the Mets have done it all year long with injuries and everything. It seems like they're built a little diffy, as Jake likes to say. Tough. I mean, they had a good West Coast trip.
Yeah, I mean, that's 5-5 on the West Coast trip. They don't have another one on the year. That's exciting for the Mets players. That's exciting for Mets fans. No more late nights. Go check out Shea Station with Jerry and Jolly. Oh, we love J names. Yeah, no, nothing to say.
Taijuan Walker gets his ERA down to 3.08 after like a bumpier start against the Padres, so that's good. I'm happy there.
And that was the name when Scherzer went down. He was kind of the guy that had to step up, and he has. So that's, when you're having one of those beautiful winning seasons, those are the puzzle pieces that come together.
I was looking at Alonso's numbers because every time I look up, it seems like he's having a great game. He's having a great season.
Yeah.
284, 362, 559. He's got a 921 OPS. He's got 18 homers already. I'm on. I told you guys this. I am now a Pete Alonso fan. After many years of sitting on the fence, not knowing what to think, I'm an Alonso guy now. I just am.
Bold on the baseball reference. How about homers and RBI? That's a pretty good
and
place to be.
intentional walks.
And intentional walks. You're right.
The Marlins.
Yeah.
Huh? I was going to pivot.
Did we skip the Yankees series? We're not talking about that?
Well, we can do it at the end. I think the Astros-Marlins is...
Okay.
The Astros are starting to win. They had their little speech. Jazz Chisholm comes out. The Marlins, sorry. Jazz Chisholm comes out, hits 2 home runs in game 1. I mean, he's fun to watch with a new perspective. And Jesus Aguilar is like a rock, man. He's hitting bombs. Both their home runs were... Jazz's second home run was very impressive, in my opinion, Trev. I'd like to get your opinion if you can see it. It's a 3-2 pitch outside that he roped. Jesus got some hangers that he banged. But the Marlins play good defense. But the Astudillo at second was hilarious. Other than that, they make a lot of plays. Pablo Lopez takes a comebacker to the wrist and had to exit the game. I'm not sure the news on that. I hope he's okay because his season is going on track to start, so that's good. I didn't want to lose Martin Perez and Pablo. We didn't lose Martin Perez. He just had a bad start. And then Braxton Garrett, 75% strike rate with the slider. Got the Astros down. Astros in game 2 had like runners on constantly. and couldn't convert. I don't know the numbers, but it seemed that way. But yeah, the
What are the
Astros on a
Marlins
little
gonna
bit
do
of a
with all that
slide
pitching?
here. What's that?
What are the Marlins going to do with all that pitching? Just hoard it?
They're gonna punch
That's what I would
air because they're in a brutal division. I mean, now look what happened. Like the Phillies hit the go button. The Braves hit 2 go buttons. The Mets, what do they have? Like 3 go buttons? And the Marlins, I mean, they're 7-3 in their last 10. Could the Marlins be competitive in the NL Central? Like if we were more sports talk radio and needed to kill an hour, I think we could do that. But yeah, man, it's kind of brutal. A nice win at Houston. They play the Phillies now. That'll be fun, actually. One of those teams will get their balloon popped.
I'm searching on Twitter, Astros homestand.
Right.
Because I want to know, how often have they lost a homestand?
I got to say, not that often.
Right? They're a team that...
I mean, that 2020 season when they weren't good, there's probably homestands there that they didn't do well in.
And you're not allowed to talk about 2017 through 2019 at home.
Right.
Can't.
Yeah, I can't find anything, but...
Maybe the spin zone there is they just don't care already. Rangers aren't going to catch them.
Dude, it could
Nobody's catching them.
be.
I want the Angels to do it. They were sitting high and mighty on top of the division, and that just fell so fast.
If you had to place $100 American on one of the teams in the AL West to catch Houston, who would you put it on?
If I had to do what?
The Angels.
Put it on one team in the AL West to catch Houston.
Mariners.
I would say the Angels.
I mean, Mariners are kind of the sexier team.
Mariners rotation is good. I don't know why the Mariners lost so many games in that stretch when they were losing.
Like, I'd probably go Mariners, and I've been a Halos guy.
I think the Halos are going to add, or definitely try to add at the deadline. I'm not so sure the Mariners are going to do that. Did we talk about Joe Maddon yet here about the head shave thing?
No. Jake and
That's
I did it.
tough.
Jake and I did it. Yeah, a segment on it for. It's tough, man. It's tough.
So for people that don't know, Joe Maddon trying to spark the boys after whatever it was, 12 games in a row, some shit like that, goes ahead, says, you know what? Let's do something funny. These guys are going to get fired up when they see me. I'm going to shave a mohawk into my hair. So he does it. Perry Manazian drives over to Joe Maddon's house in the morning to fire him. Joe Maddon opens the door up. What's he got? A fucking mohawk.
Trev,
in my head, it's been dyed pink this whole time, or Angels red, like a light Angels red. But there's no report on that. It could just be his natural hair color. But if you had to,
He's had to shave it by now, right?
if you had
keep
to
it.
bet that Joe Maddon dyed the mohawk or didn't dye the mohawk, which way are you betting?
I think it might have been like a peroxide blonde. I feel like that's kind of the move there when you do that. But the visual, like if I could have just been there standing watching, I was invisible. I just got to see Perry walk up, knock on Joe's door, and Joe answer, kind of knowing he's going to get fired, but maybe it's just a talk about something he doesn't really know. And then the mohawk thing, Perry's got to be thinking, I'm making the right decision, right? Like to open the door and see your manager doing that.
Trev, you're the GM, and you're driving up, and you got a little pit in your stomach. You're about to fire a guy, but you think it's the right move for the team. You knock on the door, and you open it, and there's a 68-year-old man with a mohawk. Do you think you reconsider for a second?
No, I think Perry's like, wow,
It's
made it
confirmed.
real good. My gut was right. I made the right decision.
Tough. We should have Joe Maddon on. Let's reach
You
out.
think Perry was like, Joe, what's with the hair first? Or was like, you're fired?
I think he
Now
looked
tell
up
me.
at it and just said,
I think he let out a no shit.
oh. He said, oh.
Oh,
And then
shit.
was like, ah. I also think Joe Maddon's wife didn't know. So he like turned around and she came down from a nap and he was like, we need to talk. And she was like, what? Oh, what are you doing with your hair? And he says, no, it's not about that.
Not about that.
It's not about the hair.
Oof. To me, that's just a all-time hilarious visual that I wish I was part of. Man.
Yeah. You sure you don't want me to try the Mohawk thing first? Just give me a day of Mohawk games.
Give me one game.
Give me one Mohawk game.
Give me one game pair.
In a movie, Joe Maddon convinces Perry one more day.
Yeah.
Give me one more day.
If the Mohawk doesn't work,
but okay.
I'm out.
And then they go like 21 in a row.
I mean, if the Angels liked Maddon and all, they just show up with Mohawks tomorrow.
Oh, you can't do that now.
Yeah, in support of your guy.
Phil Nevins too much of a guy. If it wasn't like a ball player guy, they maybe would think about something like that. But they respect the shit out of Phil Nevin.
Now that would have been the scene if Maddon comes in on that day, reveals the Mohawk to the boys, puts a shaver down in the table, they all start shaving Mohawks, and then Maddon's fired.
Oh my God! What are you guys doing? Stop, Joe. I need to talk to you,
Joe.
One guy gets half of his hair shaved. He's like, "Oh, I can't."
Tyler Wade obviously didn't go.
Yeah, he was just waiting for the end. Yeah. He's like, "I might be sick, guys."
So everyone's doing it?
Yeah.
I'm going to wait.
Speaking of the Angels, I know times, whatever. I'll be at the game, Dodgers Angels, tomorrow.
Wow.
So any Angels fans out there, Dodgers fans, come say what's up. I'll talk about the Yankees for you guys.
Wow.
Because I know you guys have probably talked.
You know who's pitching tomorrow for the Dodgers?
Ganshilin.
Oh, is it?
Catterday,
Yes.
your boy.
Yes. Yankees are the best team in baseball right now. All they do is hit homers. The guy you're talking about, Swarmer,
Yeah.
was that when John Smoltz was just like saying, this guy's incredible. He's throwing 90 miles an hour and getting, he was throwing big shots.
Yeah. Schmaltzy comes in with prepared thoughts, and then the game doesn't dictate his thoughts.
I don't want to say this every time somebody gets hurt, or it's not hurt, somebody gets hit around. I don't want everyone to be like, oh, he's tipping his pitches. But when I was watching him throw a little bit, that glove movement.
But Trev, he only had two. So at one point, Judge says, I was sitting slider, but he left it up and just shrugs. So when he hit his fastball out, he had a low 90s fastball, two pitch pitcher,
high 80s fastball,
and he's a 2-pitch pitcher. I don't think.
The only reason I say that is because those guys that have something like that you can find stuff pretty quickly on them. I'm not saying that it happened. I kind of went through it, just through some highlights. I didn't really deep dive into it. But I think there might be something there. And a lot of these teams, I've been talking to guys about this. A lot of these teams have multiple people, and that is their job to find stuff, man. And I don't think that's okay. In my opinion, this is just me, I think it needs to be someone that's on the roster or on the coaching staff. If it's anybody else, if it's like front office people doing it, I don't think that's right. I think it has to come with your coaching staff.
There's no way.
There's
no way to police that, though.
There's no way to police it whatsoever.
And what's the difference between if a video coordinator, if you labeled him video coordinator coach, like, wouldn't that be?
Well, you can only have so many coaches on the team. You can't just have a zillion coaches.
I don't know if that's true.
On-field coaches.
Like teams have like a ton of hitting coaches now. Teams have multiple.
That dress there is probably limited.
Coaches that dress. That's what I'm talking about. It seems to me like, because then our guy Chris Reed, he's actor, Padres fan that's always hitting us up on Twitter.
Yeah,
right?
He listens to Talking Baseball too.
Great dude. Has a lot of valid points. He starts shooting tweets at me about, hey, like, what's to stop teams from using software? And I've talked a lot about this. Nothing. There's nothing to stop teams from using software, and that would be so easy to line up the video, find the differences, and go from there. I hope teams aren't doing that, because I do consider that cheating 100%. There's no way to stop that. You could take the computer. I could do it. If someone gave me access to all the video
players
files,
can do
anybody could do it.
Players can just go home and do it themselves if they want to learn it. So that's just not policeable. So I
know it's tough. I hate that.
Yeah,
because I don't. That to me shouldn't be part of it. I'm not saying anybody is 100% doing that, but I'm also saying there's probably,
because that's how I figured out the Angels, or what team was that?
Oh, you overlaid them?
The Angels? Was it the Angels?
The Tigers.
Yeah. I just overlaid. I took. took curveball, fastball. So I had 2 of each and put them on the screen and just watched. And then I just saw his head was a different way for 2. Like it took me 4 minutes.
You're a pitcher. I mean, I guess we talk about what can hitters do with technology to get back that, although I consider that cheating.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I felt bad. Hey, Cubs pitchers, it was brutal. They just had because they went so long and used all their relievers in day 1. They just kind of let those kids eat it, and it was ugly.
If you if your team needs to add some trade pieces, I think the Cubbies
They got some arms in the pen.
will be selling.
Yeah.
And Hap with a really good series with 1.5 years left on his contract.
Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo. All right, let's go to
looking for outfielders.
9 figures.
standout performances.
Standout performance at 500. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Trev, you go first.
I didn't know I was going to talk about Berrios so much. I had him slated for my standout. I'm still going to give it to him. I think the Jays need that. They need him to get going. Like you said, they're back in second place in the AL East now. Back-to-back good starts, 8 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 5 Ks with only 1 walk. I think when he gets into trouble, he's putting some guys on. He's leaving pitches over the plate. Last 2 starts against the Twins and Tigers, he has not done that. He's been really good. I still like this Blue Jays team a lot. The Yankees have been the story of the AL East. The Blue Jays were the story of the AL East in the preseason. But I think they're really good. I want them to be really good. I want them to have big series against the Yankees at the end of the year, and I think we'll probably get that. I don't know what are the Yankees up right now in the division? A lot?
8.5.
Maybe we won't. But yeah, I love Berrios, so I always got to talk about what he does well, and hopefully this continues. This stretch of starts continues. Standout performance, Jose Berrios.
9, 10, 11. I'm counting.
Next start against the Orioles, who they actually hit a little bit, but keep getting right.
Austin Hayes on the
getting
Orioles.
right. Yeah.
Stud.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Not yet, but
No, he's too young.
Couple
He's
years.
25.
what do you count over there, Jim?
Robbie Ray starts.
Okay.
I talked about Robbie Ray last week about how he had to change his pitch mix on the fly because he wasn't comfortable with what was going on, and he started throwing a sinker for the first time all season. Robbie Ray went we're at 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is rough. 40-something starts in a row last year and this year. Basically a 2-pitch pitcher. And those pitches were fastball, slider. He messed around with the curveball, but it was never higher than 10%. 40 starts in a row. Halfway through the game against the Astros last week, Service says, you got to go to plan B. So it just says, I had to throw a sinker. He'd never thrown it before. So I was very curious to see, now he faces the Red Sox. Is he just going to go back to it? Like that was a 1-game thing? Or is he going to try and be a new pitcher for a little bit? He threw 48% sinkers. Almost half his pitches were a pitch he invented on the line. He's been working on it for debuted for first time out of necessity. The slider went down to 18%. It was his 3rd pitch. So for the first time, his top 2 pitches were not fast 4-seamer and slider. He threw the sinker way more. He got good results with it. He, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0 earned runs. Not a lot of strikeouts. Only 4. He's a strikeout guy. So I wonder, and the sinker is not a strikeout pitch. It's a balls in play grounders pitch. So I'm now a little curious in how this continues for him. If he's going to gain more confidence back in the slider. But it's kind of interesting to just be a new pitcher all of a sudden in the middle of the season against a good team. And it worked. It's worked both times. So standout performance because I think it's kind of gutsy to be a Cy Young guy and then just completely throw a new pitch as your 50% of the time pitch.
Would love to know the story. I mean, there's got to be more to it because old Robbie Ray, 2015, 2016, it was like a 25% pitch for him. So, You wonder with baseball changing and hitters adapting, is it more Robbie Ray? Is it more hitters? Is it
he talked about that,
changing
how
stuff up?
he talked about how his pitch isn't that unique anymore. The high four-seam fastball. So yeah, but my standout performers, good outing from him. Which leaves you.
Yeah, I thought I was going 2-hole. That's fine. That's fine. I'll tell you.
You asked me what I was counting, which went into just
okay.
telling you, which was my thing.
That's okay.
Doesn't seem like it.
And it's not okay. It's a little fucked up. Which leads me to mine. I'm going Jared Walsh, who hit a cycle. I'm a cycle guy. I talked about Yelly this year, trying to break the record. I talked about 5-tool light, Eddie Escobar, my guy cycling. And I thought it was funny, the one game that the Angels won, my guy Jared Walsh hit for the cycle, and I was laughing because the game before that they won was the Ohtani game where he threw 100 and had an exit velo of 100. So basically at this point, the Angels losing ways are so bad that they need something like otherworldly to happen in their baseball game to get a win. And Jared Walsh did it on the June 11 game versus the Mets. Homer, double, single, triple, his cycle. 3 ribeye steaks.
Was this the second game?
This was game 2.
So Ohtani opened up double, single, homer, triple away from the cycle, and then instead Walsh is like, nah,
Whoops.
I'll do it.
Whoops. Show, we need you next
Show,
game.
you can't do fucking everything.
We need you next
I'll
game,
be the
Show.
cycle guy.
Yeah.
Maybe Show pulled up at second, stayed there to not outshine him. I don't know. Didn't see it.
We're not
Who
sure.
wins in a fight, Shohei, Ohtani, or Mike Trout?
Shohei.
I think so too. Although Mike's got like the
Shohei's
low man wins
massive.
type of thing, right?
Yeah, if it gets to the ground, but I got Shohei throwing kicks and punches that are like unreal. I mean, he can do it with the arm and the legs.
Got reach.
He's faster than Mike Trout too.
Trev, can I give you something you'll like? Little bonus here. Jared Walsh, 39th round draft pick out of the University of Georgia. Go Dogs. We love that. Now he's just raking in the show.
I gave Jared Walsh a compliment that I probably shouldn't have given him.
Wow.
I was comparing him earlier in the year to
Oh.
Thanks, BBD. I was comparing him earlier in the year to a Yordan Alvarez. I said the guy can be that type of hitter. That's putting you in a rarefied air. I don't know if I need to put all that pressure on him. I like watching him swing the bat. I'll say that. I do.
He has one of those lefty swings that gets Yankee fans excited because if he played in the Bronx, I think Jared Walsh could sneak up on 35, 40 homers a year pretty easily. Smooth lefty swing.
The chat is saying Trout would win in a fight. A lot of Trout believers in that hypothetical fight between him and Ohtani.
Go tell them to watch the video of the kangaroo boxing because that's Ohtani.
Okay.
His form is just going to be so much better than Trout's.
They're both sneaky big. When you see him in person, you're like, oh shit! Like Trout's
What's the
like
height?
a very wide.
Ohtani listed 6'4", 210, which I'm a little surprised by the weight. Trout listed 6'2", 235, so a little more mass equals gas there.
What's Rizzo listed as?
Can bring that up. Ohtani is like 3 years younger than Trout. That matters a little bit. Rizzo listed at 6'3", 240.
Our height chart has Rizzo at 6'4".
He was wearing shoes.
Oh,
Shoes.
did he go shoes?
Yeah, he
you
went
got to
shoes.
take shoes off.
Yeah,
He
it's
did
we're
shoes
we're
on.
a shoes on hype chart.
Fine, that's fine with me.
I think
I'm doing my shoes on. I'm not taking my shoes off for
shoes
it.
off.
No.
We're not telling Riz take your shoes off.
Yeah, no. All right, let's keep it going.
What we got? Oh no.
Andrew Benintendi. 3 for 18, 2 doubles, a walk, did not get off Slump Watch. He needs to stay. We need him to get traded. It need to be fun. Mitch Garver sat the whole series, COVID IL, so he's not off Slump Watch.
Oh. I thought he is. There's a lot of ways to get off Slump Watch.
All right, but don't clap for him. That was like you're killing
Killing a bug.
Yeah. Jared Walsh, 7 for 13, a homer, a triple, a double, hit for the cycle. Wow. He's off. That's claps.
Hell of a day, kid.
Corey Seager, 2 for 14 with a homer, 2 RBIs, and a walk. The slash line's not there. Who are the Rangers playing next?
The Rangers play...
And Luis Robert, 3 for 14.
Houston.
Most importantly, a blunder on the base path. So I vote at this point to leave the 3 of those guys on, actually.
That works for me. Tough leg for Robert a little bit, but...
Luis Robert. Jorge Soler, 0 for 11, hit by pitch, 6 Ks. That's not good.
Tough.
Austin Meadows, 0 for 10 with a walk and a K. Meds, sucks. That sucks. Be better. They can't. Wilmer Flores, 0 for 10 with 2 walks, 1 intentional. Harrison Bader, 0 for 8. And Mookie Betts, 1 for 12. You got any? We got to put 2 of these guys on. You got anyone?
Austin Meadows is a friend.
Okay.
I'd love for him to start hitting. I'm
you
kind
do?
of
Like, does it change anything for the Tigers?
I think so, actually, because they haven't hit all year. So, like, if their team could start to hit, I think they'd have a certain level of hope they haven't had all year.
Okay.
And then I'm kind of between Soler and Betts. Because I'll be honest, Harry Bader, he can hit a little. He's out there for defense. And Wilmer Flores, I mean, I love him, but...
You do?
Yeah. He's got some nice stats. Fun baseball reference. Baby.
So let's go Soler then. We want the fish to keep winning.
Get the whole NL East besides the Nats above 500.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like wake up.
I got to tell you, we are in an ice box at a studio.
Yeah.
Usually it gets warmer the longer you're in here. It's freezing in here.
Yeah.
My legs are numb.
Yeah.
It's gotten way colder. Trev, I can't wait to you. I don't know if you're going to be here this weekend in the studio, but when you feel how cold it gets in here, it's unbelievable. And you're talking about a guy that likes his house at 67 degrees, and I'm freezing in here.
Sounds like you need some iron. Maybe steak.
Could be.
Is that your award?
We're not
It's
at
in
awards
Fuego.
yet.
No, you got to tell us.
Sicko.
You're bringing us the Fuego.
Totally am not. Trevor is, though.
Sure. I'll do it 2 episodes in a row. We have 9 people on the Fuego list today. Brian Reynolds, who had some monster jacks in the sweep, but he got swept. 10 for 15, 2 homers, a double, 5 RBIs. Play yourself out of Pittsburgh, would you please? Christian Bettencourt, haven't heard the name in quite some time. 9 for 17, 3 homers, 3 doubles, 5 RBIs. Seth Brown, what can Brown do for you? 4 for 14 is this in Fuego? 4 for 14? 3 homers, 8 RBIs. I guess the RBIs are nice. That's
3
interesting.
homer.
Nelson Cruz, 7 for 12. He went gangbusters. 2 homers, a double, 6 ribbies, and a walk. Brandon Marsh.
I'm going to go ahead. That's not in Fuego.
It's not in Fuego. 3 homers is nice.
3 homers
but
is
come on,
nice.
man.
I mean, 4 for 14.
Brandon Marsh, 5 for 10, 2 homers, a
Not
double,
in
3
Fuego.
RBIs, 3 walks. Adolis Garcia for the second place. Rangers, 7 for 13, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 3 walks. Jose Ramirez is constantly on this list. He's one of the best players in all of baseball, and I swear people do not even know that. 6 for 16, 2 homers, 4 doubles, 5 ribbies, and 1 walk. Bobby Witt Jr., I mentioned him. He's good. 8 for 13, homer, triple, double, 2 RBIs and a walk. And then rounding it out, Carlos Correa, the Minnesota Twins forever shortstop. 5 for 8, homer, double, 2 RBIs, and a walk. So really 8 people were in Fuego,
Yeah. Good stuff.
according to our list.
All right. Time for awards. awards. Do we have the Kelsey
Kelsey.
soundbite? We stopped using it.
Kelsey.
Awards.
Makes me smile every time.
Trev, you have an award picked out, you nerd?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on Talkin baseball. We're gonna give the King Theoden Award. People know that he was taken over by Saruman. He had control of his body there. The riders of Rohan left the city. They end up meeting up with Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas out there. That was a fun scene in the movie. But eventually Gandalf strolls into town, gets Saruman out of his body, and has the classic line. You're starting to see Theoden come back. He goes from old and sick to his young, strong self again. He looks at his hands, and Gandalf says, your fingers will remember their old strength better if they grasp your sword. Then Hamas brings the sword. He unsheaths it. Boom. We're back. It's a legendary scene. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go Google it. I'll never forget that line. I'm giving this award to Matt Carpenter of your New York Yankees. Started the year off. We all know what he did with St. Louis. Very good career there. Accomplished player in St. Louis. Starts the year off in Texas, which you guys know how I feel about that organization. Does not make the team out of spring training, goes to AAA, finally asks for his release. He's over it. Been there, buddy. I understand how you're feeling. Goes back, hangs at his house for a little bit, then gets the call from the Yankees. Now, I don't think I even need to tell everyone what he's done. He's got 8 hits. Hasn't really started. I think he got 1 start, right? So far?
Maybe 4.
4 starts. Has not been starting. A lot of these have been off the bench. 8 hits, 6 of them for home runs. He did get the start yesterday. Got 5 plate appearances, 3 hits with the 2 home runs, and every single one has been majestic. James, you dropped a story on me earlier today. He called everybody, all the hitting coaches you could think of. Talked to Joey Votto about getting power back in his swing. Put the work in. Now he's just hitting absolute moonshots on the best team in baseball. He had a quote talking about, I went from the couch to the best team in baseball. And dude, I've been in a situation. No, I didn't come up and do what he's done, but I know what it's like going home thinking maybe my baseball career is over. I might not ever play in the major leagues again. He's on the biggest stage, doing the biggest things, rocking the mustache. Him and Jose Trevino have been like the cult heroes of the Yankees. Nestor Cortez, obviously, as well. I just think it's really cool, man. When you think your career is done and it's over, you put some hard work in and you get rewarded for it. So Matt Carpenter, congratulations on your King Theoden Award.
Yesterday he was a late addition to the lineup, so wasn't in the first 2. Yeah, it was a late scratch. So that's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool to probably put a lot of work into it in the offseason, and it might not have been worthwhile, and I think it's worthwhile for the Yankees already and for him. Like, it's already been worth it. If it putters out, I think it's a good send-off. I mean, the Yankees are okay because they got way more value than they put in already. But it looks like he's going to be a vital bench piece down the stretch. I think the Yankees are going to try and do everything they can to keep him around because you got a lefty guy who's just peppering homers. You can keep him around.
He has like a past where he's from Texas. Torrey Hunter paid for him to work out at this facility when he was in the minor leagues. So there's some history there between those two. You can't find anyone that hates Matt Carpenter in the big leagues. One of those guys. So just happy to see him have the success.
TCU boy.
Jake, do you have an award that you're going to give out?
I was for a little bit, and she dumped me. I am going to give out an award. I'm giving out the 9 Figures Award. It's something that's Trevor Plouffe has mentioned on this show a couple times in reference to our friend and colleague Ian Happ, who's a year and a half away from his potential free agency, and Trevor thinks he's going to make 9 figures. I've got a guy. It's not going to Ian Happ. I've got a guy that's hitting free agency this year. He's on a team I told you guys I was psyched about coming into this episode. One of my many doppelgangers, Dansby Swanson of the Atlanta Braves. Dansby had a brutal start to this season. I don't know if you boys remember. I'd say about 3 or 4 episodes in, we were worried about Dansby. He wasn't hitting. Braves Twitter was getting rowdy. Do you potentially send him down? That's how bad he was looking at the dish. In the last 46 games, a nice round number, Dansby Swanson has been 329, 392, a 903 OPS. He still grades out elite defensively. He has a 2.5 WAR on the season, which, you know, if you do some quick math, that's what? He's on pace for like a 6 WAR season from the shortstop position. And Jimmy, the one number that I think you'll like the most, the Atlanta Braves are 34-27. That's 61 games.
Yep.
Dansby Swanson has started all 61 of them.
That's short? Wow.
After playing 160 last year.
That's nuts. Do they have a backup shortstop on the team, or
He
would
is-
someone slide over?
He is 28 years old. And if he rides out this season, especially on the heater he's on, we might be talking about 9-figure Dansby. Trev, I know you love when guys get paid. And he is on quite the path for it.
I am interested to see what happens to Dansby in the offseason if he continues at this pace. I'm curious what team is going to go out there and try to lock him up. Is he going to stay a Brave? I don't know. One thing I've come to terms with him.
Sure.
Gone back and forth. This might be a controversial take. I wasn't sure how I felt about Dansby. You know, everyone calls him Dan's Bay, like hottest guy in baseball. I wasn't sure how I felt about him. I don't know if I got that vibe. This year, maybe it's the confidence. Maybe it's the way he's playing. He's there for me.
Okay.
Even Ashlyn was off him for a little bit. I'd like to ask her if she's back on the Dansby train now.
You think you like him a little more when he's got 9 figures going to his bank account?
Yeah, that helps. Helps.
Thought you might. James, the final prestigious award of the episode.
Stooooohp Award.
How are you spelling that?
STOOOOOHP.
Stop.
Oh, I thought it was STAWHP.
Stop.
Where are you going, dog?
Goes to Luis Garcia. Guess which one? There's 4 in MLB right now.
Ooh.
Texas.
Nope.
Houston.
Nope.
Nationals.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah. 0 for 2 in stolen base attempts this series, and 0 for 4 his last 4. So young Luis, stop. Maybe just keep that in your pocket and don't try to steal anymore. 4 different catchers. One time he got picked off. He's got 1 successful stolen base and 5 caught stealings in his career now. So just like, I don't know, man. Stop.
That's tough.
Doesn't seem to be your skill.
Let me get some minor league stats here. Because he's hitting this year, which is really nice. We like that.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Stop running, I think.
Minor leagues, he was 36 for 14. It's tough, man. That's tough.
How did you come up with this? How did you find that little stat there?
A history major.
The history dude.
It's research, man. That's all I do.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would tell him pump the brakes as well.
Yeah.
Coach Trev.
Just chill out, man. Chill out.
Oh,
Yep. All right. Hey, best friend of the week is
Reese Hoskins, 5 for 11, 2
Yes.
homers, 2 walks.
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
Hey, an elevator
Hot.
talk as we go.
Reeser. Early COVID guest. Weird times.
Let's see. Wasn't he our first full length interview? I know Gibby called in.
Maybe. He was
I think first
Gibby was
interview
giving
when
us,
we were in
like-
the studio.
yeah, Gibby was like labor talk. He was so serious all the time. We used to have him on. I don't ever want to relay that again.
Rays is the wheel decide team.
Oh,
Andrew Kittredge, I'm sorry. He's getting TJ.
Damn.
I talked about that on Baseball Today. That stinks for him. He's just starting to earn some money. He's doing it for a long time. Late round draft pick guy. So kind of send him some thoughts and prayers.
They're coming to the Yankee Stadium to play 3 games against the Yankees, and I am sure they want to win, and they got Mac going game 2. He's been unreal.
do people call him Mac, or is that a you thing?
I would guarantee some people call him Mac. I think anyone with a name that starts with MAC gets called Mac.
It's MCC.
Well, yeah, but I mean, how's it pronounced?
I think it's McClanahan.
Like the
yeah,
hockey
I don't
player?
know Mac. I don't know who you were
I
talking
don't think it's
about.
a Mac.
But isn't that the same
Mick.
thing as the hockey player?
I don't know. I know Shane McClanahan is gross this year.
Yeah.
It's really good.
12
I
starts,
was like, who's
187.
Mac? What are we talking about, bro?
Shane.
Jake sucks.
500.
McClanahan. Yeah, I mean, that's, I guess, miracle. 1980 U.S., same spelling. They called him Mac. I feel like those guys just go by Macs.